Holy cow, what is going on? Let me turn this down. Uh, Another one of those at spur of moment show. I was playing around with a new radio I got today. It's a very inexpensive radio, and it also has two shortwave bands, and I was just playing around with it, trying the different features and everything. And I thought I would just, for the heck of it, turn on the shortwave band, and I was picking up all kinds of stuff. So I came up here to my office, and I says, let me see what I can get on. And I was just using its built-in antenna. Let me see what I can get on my SDR and an outside antenna. And I was getting a bunch of stuff. So I'm okay. I got to quickly set up because tonight the bands are active. So that's what I've done. Um, Let me turn the audio back on here on this station.
Report with Newark on frequency 8918. Backup will be 6586. Go ahead.
Okay, what this is, it's at 5.55 megahertz. And what it is the aero band, which aircraft use the HF band when they're away from land. Normally they use VHF or UHF when they're close to land. And here is one of the stations. This particular station is up in New York, someplace in the United States. And there's communications going on. Look at that signal that keeps flying through there. There's communications going on all the time. And so it's not continuous. And it's the traffic controller, I'll call it, at New York talking to aircraft that are coming or going across the ocean, across the Atlantic. And I haven't been able to receive them for months and months and months because the shortwave bands have been terrible. But tonight it's working, among other things. Now, what I started doing is I thought, well, this would be a good night to see if I can hear any of the fishermen on the frequencies I showed you in a previous show. So I was skipping around the various ones that I have in my favorites under fish. And I tried this one here. And then I noticed that intermittent transmission on a slightly different frequency. I tuned to it, and this is one of the aero bands. This one, like I say, is in New York. But you can see the bands are just like popping with signals. So let me go back. I got my little, and I'm not going to be able to use it. I got a little laptop somebody gave me. It's a neat little laptop, but the screen is only like 10 inches, way too small for my eyes, and it's kind of slow. And I was going to use it as my monitor to monitor my transmissions when I'm doing a hangout. Let me get this thing out of the way here. Hide. There we go. And also look at the chat room. Now, right now there's nobody in the chat room. Doesn't surprise me. I don't know if I have any viewers, live viewers, because I didn't really schedule this. It was just, I was just going to record it offline and then upload it. But I thought, I might get into this and I might be doing this for a while, and it'd be better to have it be streamed and recorded on YouTube, which I can do up to 8 hours, I believe. That way I'm not bound by how long it will run. So I decided to go do a hangout, unscheduled hangout. And even if nobody shows up, I still got the full show recorded, which people can watch later if I don't lose my voice. So there's nobody in the chat room. I don't know if there's anybody even watching live. Let me see. If I go to here, maybe, stand by. I have 8 viewers. Imagine 8 viewers. Oh, thank you guys for stopping by. And I'll reiterate what I'm doing from time to time for new people that have signed on. Shortwave reception has been terrible for the past, 6 months. And tonight it seems to be pretty good. And this signal you see popping up right here every once in a while is I'm not sure if they call them air traffic controller or not, but it's a controller talking to commercial airlines that are going, in this case, going across the Atlantic, either to or from the United States to somewhere on the other coast, other side of the Atlantic. And he's, telling them information and stuff like that. I haven't been able to get this in a while, even though it's in New York. Anyway, so what I was doing is I was trying to see if I could get some fishing people that are fishermen talking on all these other bands or frequencies that I looked up in a previous recent show. So I'm going to continue to go down through there. I got to 8 and still hadn't found anything. There's 9. Let me turn the audio back up. And I'm going to let the radio dwell at some of these frequencies for maybe 30 seconds. Because it's the transmissions are going to be short and intermediate or not intermittent. So it's not a continuous broadcast like it was an international broadcast station. So let me turn the audio up, and then I'm going to go over and check the chat room. Oh, jeez, this little laptop just doesn't cut it. Here we go. I'm trying to change the resolution so that the font is a little better so I can read it. Okay, let's see. Go to 125%. Now maybe I can read the chat room. Maybe. Let's see. It's still pretty poor. Okay, I can see that there are 4 people in the chat room, but the font is so small. Let me see if I can change it in Chrome. Well, I know there's a way of doing that, but did I remember? I don't know. Let's see. Chrome setup. Edit. History down. Zoom. Yeah, no wonder the zoom is set at 50%. Good grief, no wonder. How the heck did that happen? All right, that solves that problem. Maybe. If I can get out of it. Now I can read it. Okay, let me mute this since there's no voice going on there. We got Richard 2003. He says his antennas are plugged due to thunderstorms. Yeah, in Florida, man, there's been thunderstorms all day long for a month now. So, yeah, I've got to watch that. When I came up here to start this hangout, I'm like, oh, geez, I have the antenna plugged in. I shouldn't have done that. We've had storms all day long. We got D-Raf. Hi, D-Raf. Oh, he's in Brandon. Yeah, if you're in Brandon, Florida, Richard, it's been a lightning chaos lately. And then we got Michael. He's in Louisiana. Yeah, the weather on the East Coast has really been brutal. Lots of rain, lots of flooding. Oh, there we got some activity right there. Let me move over there. Well, that's where I was before. Yeah. Okay, so we were at 5550, I believe, which is the Aero Communications out of New York to talk to commercial aircraft going across the Atlantic. Now, let's go back to my fish. We'll try number 10. See if there's anything there. We turn the audio up. I can actually hear something. It's really weak. You know, it's kind of a strange night. As Richard said, there's a lot of storms here in Florida. So I'm getting, you can see all these lines going across there. That's lightning crashes, but they're not nearby. They could be 100 miles away, but it's still getting into my radio as far as noise. So you're seeing a lot of those. And then I don't know if it's because of the stormy weather, but reception seems to be pretty good tonight. Yeah, as I started out this hangout, I said that I got a new radio in. It's an inexpensive radio, but it's an emergency radio. And by the way, it has 2 shortwave bands. Now the tuning is impossible, and I'll be showing that in an upcoming show. The tuning, especially on shortwave, is impossible. It's just got this little tiny knob to tune. You will have only no idea what frequency on, but I was just playing around with it, trying all the features, and I was getting shortwave on this thing downstairs in my living room with the built-in antenna, which is like maybe 18 inches long, and I'm like, wow, conditions must be really good tonight if this little rinky-dink radio is picking up shortwave. So I came up here and I thought I'd try to see if I can get one of those fishermen on the HF bands. So far I'm not. Now, there's a big signal there that went by. Let's go over there for a while. I'll turn the audio back on. And this is the beauty of using an SDR. What I'm looking for on this waterfall down here is a burst of signal, because the fishermen and other non-international broadcast stations will just, like an amateur operator will just broadcast for a short time and then they'll stop. And so that's what I'm looking for, is these short little broadcasts like I had over here for a couple of seconds. That's all I had. That's what I'm looking for, because the fishermen are just going to talk for, maybe 30 seconds and then pause, listen for the other person, which I might not hear because you might be in a totally different area. So that's what I'm looking for on this waterfall right here, is that short burst of audio. Let me go over and check the chat room, and I'll turn the audio up here again. Maybe we'll get some more audio. Yeah, apparently other people that are in the chat room are also picking up a bunch of signals tonight. So something has gone on the shortwave band. So all of a sudden they've opened up, meaning we're getting signals in that we hadn't been getting for months. And I don't know what this thing is. It goes rotating through. Oh, there's a signal. Oh, gee whiz. Oh, it's data. Some kind of burst of data. So it's not audio. Just briefly heard it there. Okay, let's move on. Go to another frequency that I had saved for fisherman communications. Ooh, there's a big signal over there. Whoa, look at this monster signal right here on the edge. Where is that? Oh, that's getting, let me turn this down. Up there around 6 megahertz, where I'm located, I get a lot of Spanish-speaking stations. I don't know if it's in Florida, it's in Cuba, South America, but they come booming in, and that's what we're seeing over here. I'll probably have to turn the audio down before I unmute it. Ooh, there was something there where I was on that frequency for that supposedly, not verified, but supposedly fishermen use in the Gulf of Mexico, in the Atlantic, in the Pacific. I keep hearing a weak voice every once in a while. What's that right there? There's just tons of signals here. I don't know where to begin. See, there's one here. There's one here. There's one here. One here. There's this one here. And then there's a whole bunch of them over here. Okay, let's try some of these over here. They're pretty loud, probably. That could be, I'm on upper sideband, so let me go to AM. I can barely hear that one, but it did sound like it was Spanish. And it's coming and going. I don't know how long this will last. Look at all these pulses up here. Look at that, whatever that is. That's got to be data or something right there. Now, let me tell you my setup. I haven't told you my setup. See, it's coming and going there. SPR Play 1, G5 RV antenna, and it's 9:20 p.m. here in Clearwater, Florida, in case you watch this later. Okay, let's look at this monster signal here.
So, in an email just yesterday, and
now that frequency looks familiar, 5.830.
California and some of the heavier metro areas. Seattle is reporting a 46% increase in the number of people sleeping in their vehicles just in the past year. And you know, I can attest to this. I have seen this as well. Now, here in Miami, in the wintertime, you don't see many homeless. When it's 20 degrees outside for 2 weeks straight, and there's a wind that comes out of the west about 18 miles an hour that's constant.
I think that might be, although he's not talking about religion, but I think that might be one of the religious stations out of Tennessee in the United States. I think that's what that might be. It looks very familiar, 5.830. Do I dare look it up and try not to crash this whole setup? I'll look it up later. I'm probably right on the edge of having enough CPU power to keep this going, so I'm not going to do that. But there's something right here on the edge that looks huge. Let me turn the audio back up.
I thought it was a good sounding tune. That second song was a listener request from Siham in France.
Let me move it over.
Spread Your Wings by Queen. It is a ballad by the rock band from their 1977 album, News to the World. It was written by bassist John Deacon. The lyrics of the song describe a troubled young man named Sammy who works at the Emerald Bar sweeping the floor. The narrator, voiced by Freddie Mercury, of the song encourages Sammy to pursue his dreams, telling him to, quote, spread your wings and fly away, unquote. You are listening to VORW Radio International, the voice of the Report of the Week. If you tuned into this broadcast, send your questions, comments, feedback, reception reports, and music requests to VORWINFO@gmail.com. That's VORWINFO@gmail.com. I'll be repeating the address many times throughout this broadcast. If you do write in, I'll try my best to shout you out on air. Darian in Northern California sending in a reception report for 7730 kilohertz. He said it's his first time listening on the shortwave and at the broad.
That is one booming signal. Look at these. Look at all these booming signals. I think that's in the United States someplace. Probably central part of the United States. God, look at all these signals. Let's look at this little one. Let's listen to this little one. Turn the audio back on. Sounds Spanish. Yeah. Here's another giant. Turn the audio on.
About a foot down the road. Why? Because the mean things are not addressed. And the main things are not even relevant. They're not even important. That's why we go on these hunting pets. What will get the people riled up?
That sounds like the lady on the Caribbean Beacon, which is out of, I think, Cuba. Another really strong signal. And look at this monster here. That must be like next door. Spanish. The problem with a lot of these Spanish stations, especially the ones right in this area between 6 megahertz and 7 megahertz, actually this is a little below 6 megahertz, is they're not registered, so you can't look them up in a database anywhere. The frequency looks familiar, 5.970. Now, I have to say it looks familiar because my memory's gone. I can't remember anything from one day to the next. And I'm a little afraid to go over to the website Shortwave because I might crash this whole setup trying to do too many things at once. So I'm not going to do that. I'll look in the chat room if somebody knows what some of these frequencies are, or they can look them up on short-wave.info and let everybody know. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, Mr. Lucky Train said he's going to have to learn how to set up an SDR. It can be a little tricky at the beginning to set it up because you got to get a driver in there. But many of the programs now are including the drivers you need in their programs, so you don't have to download a separate driver for the dongle or the SDR you have. So it's getting a lot easier. I remember, boy, when I first got into SDRs a couple of years ago, I couldn't get the thing to work, and it was because I didn't have the right driver, and I didn't put the driver in the right directory. And then when Windows would do an update, they'd say, oh, well, that's not the driver for this, and they'd replace the driver, and it would stop working. It was just a nightmare. Anyway, let's move on to another fish frequency. And we'll turn the audio on and let it sit there for a few minutes or seconds. Okay, nothing heard there. Again, these transmissions, communications, as far as the fishermen talking to each other, they're going to be very short. So just listening to it for 30 seconds, you're going to have to get real lucky to catch one. There's another bonkers signal. Oh my gosh. Let's try that. Whoa. Some kind of interference. Oh, I'm on USB. Let's go back to AM. Yeah, another Spanish station. This is a smaller one here. Yeah, another Spanish station. Yeah, again, between 6 and 7 megahertz. They're all over the place. Let's move up to another fishing. Now, most of these fishing frequencies are either they're single sideband, so that's why I keep getting the radio in single sideband mode. Nothing there. Look at all these signals. Wow. Let's see what this one is. Oh, data. Oh, look at this one. Oh, okay. Let's go to AM first. It's short, so it's not international broadcast. Let's go back to upper sideband. See if I can tune it in. Turn up the audio. What is she? I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds a little bit like it's the station out of Cuba that broadcast numbers and letters. They're supposed to be coded for spies or something. I don't know what that's all about, but that's what that sounds like. Let me turn it back on and let you listen for a few minutes. Not sure. I'm not sure what that is. Let me go to the chat room. Mr. Lucky Train asks, do you generally find more sensitivity in pickup, more stations, your SDR dongle they're using, or your PL880? Definitely my SDR dongle. My PL880, I have like the second generation PL880. I got one when they first came out. The design was not finished. It hardly worked at all. I returned it and got the second generation, and it was much better, but it's not very good. I mean, compared to $25 radio, yeah, it's better than that. But say compared to my Grundig 750, now this is my radio, and of course we know that Chinese radios or Japanese radios or whatever, their quality control is terrible. So from radio to radio, the quality can vary a lot. And so I've seen reports where people have gotten a PL880 and it works great, but mine does not. And like I say, I'm on my second one, and I put it in the closet and I haven't used it for a year or so. It's not good. Single sideband doesn't hardly work at all. I cannot get it to tune single sideband and hold the audio without drifting around. So I just don't use the PL80. There's two SDRs that I use most of the time. One is the RTL SDR, which sells for $25 on Amazon. The other one is the SDR Play, which comes out of the UK, I believe, is where it's manufactured and made. And now there's like 3 or 4 versions after the SDR Play 1. There's an SDR Play 1A, and there's an SDR Play dual. And when the SDR Play 1A came out, they put the SDR Play on sale for $99, so I grabbed one. They were normally, I think, $140. And I think that's the price of the SDR Play 1A, which is a revision to the 1. And then the 2 dual is a totally different animal. So those are the 2 I like, and both of those, and even the RTL SDR, RTL SDR is better than my PL 880. My PL 80, since I was on my second one, they wouldn't give me a newer one, so I was stuck with it. Anyway, I'm losing my voice. Let's go on. Let's go to Fisher 15. We're way over here. Nothing there yet. Now, there was something right here. There was a burst of transmission right there. Let's try that. Turn the audio back on. A local in DX radio asked if I have any tube radios. I probably have. I've got over 100 tube radios. I've got Collins radios. I've got Helicrafters. What else? Hammerlands. I got Hammerlands. The problem with my tube radios is they're real heavy. They typically are about 40 pounds or more. And I have a bad back. I can't move them to set them up. So they're kind of just stuck in a corner someplace. I have demonstrated a couple of them. And my Collins 75A-4 receiver, which is an all-band receiver, is sitting here in my office, but it's up on a dresser. So it's kind of, I can't reach it without standing up to tune it, so I don't use it very much. So yes, I have hundreds of tube radios, a lot in storage. Can't seem to give them away though. I guess they're because they're so bulky. Anyway, where are we? We're way over here. Did we listen to this right here before? Let me see. Oh yeah, data. Yeah, we listened to that before. Okay, let's move up. I'm not doing too good on this fishing thing. Again, the people that are out there on the fishing boats, they're not going to transmit very often or very long, so it's going to be hard to capture one. Somebody did make a comment on the show I did on these fishing bands or fishing frequencies that he hears them all the time, but I believe he's over in Europe though. Oh, there was a blast of, that looks like data right there. Oh, there's some more. Let me turn the audio up. Yeah. Some kind of data or something. Yeah. Okay, you realize I'm only up to 6.6 megahertz, so we haven't even captured much of the band. Now, most of the frequencies I found were below 10 megahertz. What did I do there? Oh, I jumped up. I jumped up to 8 megahertz, and look how different that is. Let me go to auto here to rescale this so you can see it a little better. Boy, look at that burst of information. Whew. Wow. Look at all those little signals there. They're all along this band right here. Let's try this one right here. Turn the audio back on. No, there's a burst right there. Let me take it off of sideband. Something there. Wow. Hey, my good YouTube friend from Canada stopped by. That's the MKME lab there. Thanks for stopping by. Whoa, what the heck is that? My gosh. Let me turn the audio up. It's probably, I'm sure it's noise, the data. Oh, look at this monster here. That's data. Oh, there it is. Yeah. This is like audio right here. And it goes away when I click on it. Okay, let me digress for a minute. What I'm doing tonight, it was kind of spontaneous. I had gotten in a new radio to test, and it's a emergency radio, but it also has 2 shortwave bands. And I thought, well, you know, this little, and it was like $27, $28. I thought, you know, this little radio is not going to do very good on shortwave. So I was just playing around with other features and stuff like that. And I turned it over to shortwave, and I was getting all kinds of stations using a little, looks like about 18-inch antenna. And I was downstairs on my first floor. And I was picking up all these stations. So I thought, well, let me go upstairs and get a decent radio. This is an SDR I'm using, and an outside antenna, and I should be able to pick up everything. Well, I am. And I'm just getting all kinds of signals. What particularly is going on right this minute or this hour to make the band conditions much, much better than they have been? I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because we're having a lot of storms and it's related to the storms, or all of a sudden the sun got real active or something. I haven't checked the solar flux index. If somebody can do that and let us know if it's jumped up for some reason. I know Dr. T was saying a couple of days ago that it is supposed to go up slightly, you know, like 2 points or something, 2/10 of a point or something like that. But, you know, it's kind of in the mud. But look at all these little signals here. We're just making it through. I mean, there's like dozens of them. And so far, it's been hard to hear any of them. Let me try this one right here. Exactly, there's 2 of them there. Turn the audio back on because I'm losing my voice. I can hear it, but it's really weak. You know, the thing is, if if propagation was good, say close to 100, can you imagine all the stations and signals we would be hearing? There's a halfway decent one there. It's there. It's there, and every once in a while it jumps up. Mr. Lucky Train, the antenna that I'm using, as I mentioned before, is a G5 RV dual dipole antenna. It's 102 feet long. It's facing northeast and southwest. That's the direction it's pointing, from end to end pointing. And it's only about at the peak 18 feet in the air, maybe. It's mounted to the top of my 2nd story peak, and then it slopes down to about 10 feet on each end, the 2 legs to it. Wow. Look at this. Wow. This is huge signals. And then look at all these tiny little signals. Could those possibly be individual stations? I've never seen this much activity. Now, I've seen this activity if you go to the amateur radio bands, because a whole bunch of people are transmitting on those bands. And look at here, we had this, and this all at the same time. Maybe these are harmonics, but they're so close together. I don't think they're harmonics. Okay, let's move on. We've got a couple more fish frequencies. Going to check out here. And we'll turn the audio back on. Nope. Something has to be going on in the atmosphere or something on the ether. Because look at this right here. We're getting intermittent broadcasts, and they're fairly strong, nothing compared to this monster over here. Let me turn the audio on. What the heck is that? I can hear some audio. Now we're on lower sideband. Let's go to AM. Yeah, there's a signal. I hear audio. Boy, it's just right there on the edge. Well, thanks for the report, PXN America. Wow, I just turned my head and look at all these signals that just came in. Look at this. What the heck? Let me turn that on. Now it's gone. I don't know what's going on here. Here's it. Like right here is a burst on this frequency. There's another burst. There's back here where I was. Let's go back to the audio. Now, did you hear that? For like 2 seconds, the audio was pretty loud. And then now it's gone again. Got a new noise. This is weird. Look at this guy jump up. Now you see all these lines that go across here? Like there's a big one right there. That's probably lightning. Not close by because I don't hear or see any lightning, but it still could affect me even though if it's 100 miles away, it still can affect my reception. This, I don't know what's going on tonight. I can't explain this. There it is. There was like 2 seconds of pretty good audio. It sounded like Spanish. And look at this signal over here. What the heck is it doing? It's got to be like data or something because it's always there. Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a fax. That's what that sounds like. Where they transmit data, which is, in most cases, it's either weather maps, or in Japan, they still transmit like a newsletter on HF, and it's in a form of a fax, and you can decode it. I've never been able to hear it. I've tried many times, never could hear it, but other people have been successful at hearing it. All right, let's check these last 2 fish frequencies, or last 4, see if there's anything there. Nothing there. Now, one of the features of, I'm using SDR console. I didn't mention that before. Sorry. I'm using SDR console to control my SDR play radio, SDR. And one of the features is you can have it mark the strongest signals, and it does this periodically and does it pretty rapidly. So that will drive you, if you watch those, that will drive you to, as an indicator, here's a strong signal. And it's constantly updating it. And right, you can turn on some number, like maybe 10 would be max, but I've got it tracking 3, and so 1 is, of course, the strongest signal, 2 is the next down, and 3 is the lowest. And so I can see over here in this band I've got that I've got a 1 hitting over here and here over and over again. So this is a strong signal. And then I've got 2 and 3 kind of in the similar area all the time, but they're moving around. It's weird that these signals are intermittent. If I didn't know better, I would swear that we have heavy winds outside and my antenna is blowing around, causing the signal strength to change. I don't think that's the case. Matter of fact, I think there are no winds outside. Let me try this one right here. We'll go to AM. And I would guess over an hour and a half ago, when I was playing around with a cheapo radio and found shortwave bands busy, I bet you conditions were much better than they are now. They seem to be kind of dropping off. All right, let's go. I got only a couple more of these frequencies. Let's just see if I can hear anything. Wow, look at how all these signals jumped up there for like a second. Look at this one. What's going on here? Let's tune that in. That's gone. Go back to I think let's go back to the frequency I was on so I can see what. Okay, it was in upper sideband, and the signal I heard was over here someplace. I saw, I didn't hear. Gone. This one here was strong for a while and it's gone. I'm checking all my antenna connections. Let me see here. Get the light on. That one connection was a little bit loose. I got what I didn't mention. Let me mute this. What I didn't mention is the connections to the SDR. My antenna comes in to a switch, which I can switch between the SDR and my Grundig 750 right now. And then the cable that goes to the SDR has a medium wave filter in line to keep the strong medium wave stations out. Whoa! Now we got some monster. Oh my gosh! Is that because I had a loose cable? Let me turn the audio out. Yes.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
I think that's Radio Habana. And did we pass an hour? No, we didn't pass an hour because a lot of times stations will come on the air and go off the air on an hour. I'm guessing that I had a weak connection there because I did check the connection just a few minutes ago, and one of them wasn't. It was pretty tight. It was like one turn loose, one turn. And now I'm getting these monster signals coming in that I didn't see before. Now look at that one. That one was pretty big and then it went away. So, okay, see, now they're starting to die off and I haven't touched the cable. So something is going on here. I don't know what. See how they're strong for a short period of time and then they go weak. Now, I wasn't touching the cables before, so it was not like I was jiggling. And like I say, the cable was plugged in, but it wasn't tight. Okay, let's turn the audio back on instead of me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Radio Habana on 8.760. I'm on 5.9. Okay, we got just a couple more fish frequencies. We'll try those. And then maybe we'll move up the band. Because like I say, most of these fish frequencies I've got are below 9 megahertz. Nothing there. Well, let me turn the audio up. There might be. There is something there, but it's someone talking and music in the background. I don't think that's a fisherman. And then we got this guy. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry I'm so excited, but the band conditions have been so bad lately. Ah.
Make his next call on 5550. Next call on 5550. Yes. North American 1529 Pacific main car. Level 3506. 0203.
Yeah, that's another one of those frequencies that the commercial airlines use when they go out over the oceans or the Gulf. And it's probably the station in New York. That's why it's, oh my gosh, look at these signals that just burst in here. Wow. I think those are the ones I was listening to before, which were sound like they're out of Cuba. All right, I think we got one more left. Yep. And we'll turn the audio up. Okay, nothing heard. Let's go up to my favorite, my best right here. And let's just go through those quickly, and then we'll call it quits for tonight. Here's WWCR. Yep. Oh my gosh, look at that band. Let me readjust to the colors. Is that really audio? Whoa. That is audio. Look at that thing. It's a monster.
You're listening to Dr. E.C. Fulcher Jr. at Truth House Ministries Church at P.O. Box 973, Abingdon, Maryland 21009, USA. Call toll free 1-866-263-5830. Visit our website www.truthhouse.org for more information.
Amazing. I mean, this is more activity than I've seen this year. And some people say Shortwave's dead. Obviously not dead tonight. Whoa. Look at these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major strong signals in this band right here. I'm just going to go through them real quick and let you listen to them for a few seconds.
30.
Money drop. One might say, well, how do you do it? We pray. And I've been praying lately that some of you will start supporting us. Some of you that have been receiving
convoys. Now, they're training
Preacher
for the
man.
same mission with a twist at home. Began on October 1st for 12 years.
866-263.
Or visit TII1.com.
President Donald Trump wants to roll back.
I somehow believe that we live in a
Si nada más quieren escuchar que yo ponga las canciones que tengo escogidas para ustedes, los nombres de las cuales.
Okay, I think all of those, with the exception maybe the last one, are within the United States. So that's one of the reasons they're so strong. Okay, let's go back to my best. That was the first one. That was WWCR. And here's WWCR in Nashville. Yeah, that's one of them right there. And what do we have? We have Radio Martini, which is in the United States. It's northeast part of the United States where the transmitter is.
Deciden apelar a una serie de acciones de respuesta artística ilegales.
Luis Manuel Otero
Wow, this, holy cow, look at these signals. Let's go on. China radio. I haven't been able to get China radio for ages. Let me see if I can get it tonight. I usually get it in the morning. It's there. It's a little weak. It's there. There's another one. There's another one. That sounds like, yeah, 9580. That's China radio. Coming in perfect. Look at that signal, how strong it is. Let's go on. We got to wrap this show up. This is Radio Saudi. Nothing there. We're up to 11 megahertz now. There's a nice big signal. Don't know what that is. I'd say it's like 12 megahertz right on. There's another one. Another one. Let's go to my next one. Is the Caribbean Beacon. Not hearing anything on Caribbean Beacon on that frequency. There's a big one right here. Spanish. Here's a weaker one. It's gone. I know I talk too much. Here's a strong one. Spanish stations. Not sure what that is. Sounds like some kind of music. Yeah. Here's Japan. Nothing there. WWCR out of Nashville on a different frequency. Not right now. Radio France. No, nothing there. EWTN. No. WWCR at 9.9. No. Another Radio France. No. And Caribbean Beacon. Yeah, it's there. 11.775. Okay, pretty exciting night for me on shortwave. I haven't had this kind of reception in quite a while. I would say over a year. But that's the thing about shortwave. You never know. Sometimes it's going to be bad for months and months, and all of a sudden one night it opens up. Just like tonight. Only thing I think of is that we've had a lot of storms today, and maybe I don't know, maybe it washed the dust off of my antenna. Maybe that's what it. I don't know. Anyway, I'm looking at the chat room, and then oh my gosh, it's 10 o'clock, way past my bedtime. And let's see. Havana is booming in. Yes, Havana is. And Ian says, I'm taking my portable outside right now. Yeah, that if you don't have an outside antenna with coax coming into your house, into your room, you're going to get a lot of interference. So the advantage you get of the outside antenna is killed if you don't have shielded coax cable to bring it into your room and connect it to your radio. That's the key. You're making things worse if you clip on a wire in a room with all kinds of electronics and then run that outside. That's not going to help. You can have a wire, just say a 20-foot wire, and if you connect to it via a coax shielded cable outside, away from your house, say at least 10 feet away from your house, bring that in and then hook that to your radio, you're going to get improvement. I have 2 antennas that are my best antennas right now, and this is the G5RV, which I'm using right now, and then the 31-foot vertical antenna from MFJ. Those are my 2 best, and of those 2, the 31-foot vertical is the best, and I believe it's the best because it's 31 feet. The peak, the end of it, is 31 feet in the air, where the G5RV, the peak of it, of the dipole, is only 15 to 18 feet in the air. Anyway, that's it. Obviously, shortwave is not dead. And tonight is a living proof it's not dead. I don't know what was done, what conditions are taking place right now that could be causing this. Now, what I can do, I can shut this program down, and it will take a lot of, this is SDR console, that will take a lot of the burden off of the CPU, and then I can go back to here, and I can go to no, I didn't want to go to short dash wave. I want to go to solar ham. Let's go to solar, for instance. And what I'm looking for is, okay, the solar flux index is up a little bit, just like the Dr. T had said. It's right now, or whenever this was captured, it's at 70. It's been for months. It's been 67, 68. Now, 2 points, is that going to make that big a difference? I don't know. Maybe it does. The K, which you want it to be small, is 0. That's good. And the A, which you want to be small, is a 7. That's a little high. So band conditions, as the doctor predicted yesterday or day before, have improved. And maybe she said that it'll stay this way for several days. So I'm going to be back here tomorrow night, and I'll be a little more organized. And I'll try to do a hang out on the air. If I'm going to do it, I will set it up hours in advance, so you will get the notification hours in advance. And it appears around 8 p.m. my time, that's Eastern Daylight Time, that it's best, that's normal. That's usually when it's either first thing in the morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning, or 8 o'clock at night, 8 till midnight here. That's when the conditions are best at my location in Clearwater, Florida. Anyway, I am talked out, and I'm going to go. I'm an early riser. I get up about 3 or 4 in the morning, and I usually go to bed about 8 o'clock at night. So this is late for me. But I'm so excited. I mean, I was playing with that little cheapo radio, which I'm going to show you in the next few shows, and I found it was picking up shortwave, and I didn't expect it to pick up anything on shortwave. And you'll see what I mean when you see it. And I was getting all kinds of signals, so I thought, man, I better go upstairs and use a good radio. So that's why I thought, well, I could record it and then upload it, and you could play it later. But I thought, well, if a couple of people show up, they can enjoy the conditions just like I am, maybe, and we can share what we're hearing. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hope to do the review of this little emergency. It's an emergency radio. It's not really a shortwave radio per se. It does have shortwave. So, and it looks like a pretty cool little emergency radio. We'll see. Just got it today. That's it. Thanks for watching. And my voice is almost gone. Bye-bye. Thanks for stopping by.